Greetings, this is Chris, and welcome back to Stellaris, where we find our burb empire slightly lonely in the universe. If we have a look at the world, the galaxy, you can see we've not found any alien species apart from, well, sort of inanimate ones. Unintelligent ones. I guess the skeleton's inanimate. And what we're hoping to do today, in particular, in this episode, is colonize a planet over here, since it's one of the only ones we've managed to find. It's nice and large, though. And we're also going to try and meet some other races, because it would be a shame if we were completely lonely. Now, something I realised last part is that we're actually in an elliptical galaxy when I chose a spiral galaxy. And that's because it turns out when you change the number of stars you want to put in the galaxy, the shape resets. So, sorry about that, I'm afraid we're in an ellipse. Let's have a quick look at the fleet. Well, we have expanded our fleet to include 2 more ships. I'm having them combine here. We have a space station with no new modules. Our science ships are currently out exploring. And we have plenty of stations around the place. So let's get on with things and see how it goes. Our continued studies of the massive skeletal remains on Dathana 4 have managed to shed some light on how the creature ended up on the planet. There are faint residual energy readings that indicate some sort of dimensional portal existed briefly towards the rear of the skeleton. Science Officer Kremak theorizes that the creature passed through the escapeway from another dimension, only to quickly perish in the hostile environment of Dathana 4. Why it did this and where it came from are questions that may never be answered. Wow, okay, that's odd. We have some sort of portal beasts. What do we get for this? Oh, lots of XP and lots of science. Very nice. Much appreciated. So if you ever end up with more physics or social or engineering research than you actually gain per month, then your scientists can consume it at twice the rate they generate it. So you can actually leave your research. You don't have to choose immediately what research you might want to do after you finish a particular technology, because you'll be able to catch up, basically. Which is quite a nice little system, actually. It's very straightforward to understand, and it works very well. Now, I'm also here on the home planet because I think we need to do a bit more construction. Research complete. Especially as we've just finished researching mining, geothermal fracking. So that means we can now build very, very nice mining networks. So we'll deal with the research in a minute. Do we have anywhere suitable? So this place has a normal mining network 1. We can upgrade it. It doesn't seem to cost anything. Oh, it does cost something. In fact, it costs the full cost. Let's find out. How much does it cost to build a new one? Mining network 1. Oh, okay, I see. You have to build network 1 before you can build networking 2. Very interesting. So is it worth doing it for 1? Probably not right now, to be honest. We're not that desperate for minerals. What I'd like to do on this planet is actually build a science lab to get our science up. I mean, this has got some physics on it. We spent some time clearing it. So we're going to start work on a basic science lab, and as soon as this population's complete, we'll have a nice little science income to add to our current income. We also may want to consider building a power plant here, take advantage of the power generation, and move it like so. So then, are we still generating a good amount of food? How can we tell how much food we're making overall? Only from this? 27 out of 48. There's some way to see overall. I think maybe it's on the planet summary. Aha, so we have 7 food excess. Right. Okay. That's quite a bit, actually. I don't know how much you need total. But yeah, so we've got a little bit of improvement going on the home planet. We need to pick a new science. So who is this? Our engineering, who's good at everything. So we could get some armor. We could get some better armor damage is interesting. Or we could go for a more advanced tech. As you can see, the costs are different, which means that we can build Spaceport 2 and Corvette assembly yards. That's really tempting. It's going to take a very long time, but I think that's going to prove best in the long run. Because then we can upgrade our spaceport and we can start churning out corvettes, since that's the only ship we can build right now. Here's our little fleet. I've doubled its capacity up to 6 ships because I'm slightly paranoid. Basically, I'm playing this very cautiously right now. I'm not really sure what might be happening once the game continues. You know, for instance, maybe our first neighbours are just horrible. Okay, we've also managed to research orbital energy conversion, which means we could build a spaceport module to generate energy. Interesting. What can we research next? Physics lab. That seems to be a science lab, but with specific physics focus. Blue lasers presumably do more damage than red. Dunno. And gravitic sensors. These all sound pretty reasonable. Given his speciality in computing, I think we'll probably go for that one though. What we really want to do is finish this tech, because I'm really hoping that colony ships is the next one we're allowed to research. Otherwise we're wasting quite a bit of time not expanding our empire. We have a construction ship though, who I think may as well...
System survey complete.
Oh, we can't build anything here because we have to own the system, don't we? Yes, so the way that construction works is that in order to build something, say a station around this planet, you have to have ownership of the system. And that means it can't just be in your territory, you actually have to have an outpost. Oh, actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just I don't have enough resources. Haha, talking nonsense once more. Okay, we're going to send the construction ship there, so in theory it can start generating. As soon as I have enough resources, which just happened, in fact, we can build a mining station. So anything inside your space, you can tap with stations. Anything outside, you need to actually build some sort of outpost or colonize a planet in order to have it be part of your territory, basically. So frontier outposts and colonies expand your territory, and then you can build stuff within the systems in your territory. So the question now is, do I research this slightly dull system? I mean, it is closest to us. Sure, okay, we may as well do the home systems first. We may want to think about building a second science ship once we've finished this one, because, well, all the systems beyond that, can we reach there? In fact, we may not be able to reach there from Turis, so we may only actually end up going in one direction as a survey. It's quite interesting the way the map's generated. Even if you're a warp ship, you can't explicitly go to any star you want. There is actually a limit to your range. So you're not constrained by the hyperlanes that might exist, but you are constrained by the range limit of your ships. And we may want to build a second one just so we can send 2 in different directions. How much does one of those cost? Let's take a look. Space station. Nope, that's our fleet. You can actually click down here. Nope, that's the planet. And fleet. Oh, we can't put the space station directly. That's a shame. We can build a solar panel network at some point. It's quite cheap for the energy it produces, actually. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. A science ship costs 100, so maybe we'll save up at this point. And then we'll have to buy a new scientist. Ooh, something's happening. We now know, without a doubt, that a thriving biosphere is not something you need to roost. Both the scientific community and the public at large are eager to learn more about the various forms of alien life found throughout the galaxy. Efforts to catalogue life forms we encounter are already underway, but our xenobiologists have urged us to focus our planetary survey on efforts on habitable, life-bearing worlds. Sure, let's go for it.
Situation log updated.
So that means we now have a mission to survey 8 Blimey, that's a lot. And the one we've done doesn't count? Apparently? Yeah, that's... Wow. Okay, this is going to be challenging, but eventually I guess we'll complete it. So far our biologists have only had some giant space whales, I think they were? Space whales, to look at, so they're probably a bit bored trying to find something more interesting to research. Anyway, we are now definitely going to save up for another science ship, because if we're going to get surveying done, we're going to need 2 ships to do that. We are still a little bit low on minerals, actually, so I would like to find some more minerals. Well, there's a couple there. That's not too bad. Ah, finally, we've managed to research planetary unification. This gives us an extra monthly influence per turn, which is really nice. That's like another 33%. That's incredible. And also we've unlocked propaganda broadcasts, which we can spend influence on to make people happy. But, you know, we don't need to do that. Our burbs are very happy anyway. So now, please, please... Oh, damn it. We cannot research colony ships. Great. What's survey data? Oh, that's swapping intelligence with other planets. Other races. Well, I mean, in that case, I really don't know what to go for. The quickest one possible, I suppose. This sounds pretty useful. Having an extra naval capacity will be good in the long run. Yeah, start work on that. I'm afraid for 47 months we're still not going to have any colony ships. That's really disappointing. It's 4 years in and we haven't discovered how to colonize planets yet. You finished on your survey? No, you're still working on it. We're almost at 100 resources, which means we can start working on that science ship at least. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Here we go. Good. And we have enough now to start building a second science ship. Our construction ship almost certainly wants to go and tap these mineral resources, so we'll send them over there. We're going to need to hire a new scientist when the science ship is done. That should be pretty soon.
Construction complete.
There we go. So now let's recruit a new scientist. We're nowhere near our leader limit, which is good. So what can we have? We can have a cheap leader. That's quite funny. I love the little picture there. We can have someone who discovers more anomalies, could be very useful. Or a biology expert. Well, he's more of a stay-at-home kind of scientist, so it's a question of whether I want a cheap one or a anomaly discovering one. Well, I think I'm going to go for the anomaly. He's younger. We have quite a lot of influence coming in thanks to our planetary unification. So yeah, let's recruit Isaki. And then if I can go to Isaki's ship. Oh, is the construction not complete? Oh, that must have been construction of something else.
System survey complete.
It was. Silly me. Okay, and we finished surveying that system. We'll get to you in just a second. What did we complete here? Ah, finally, we completed that research lab, and the population has filled to occupy it. So now that's a really nice little system, little square on our planet, producing lots and lots of science. Next up, I don't know, we're going to want to think about some minerals, actually. Shame that none of these squares produce minerals, and that I'm quite low on resources right now, so I'm not going to spend anything on the planet.
Construction complete.
And there's our science ship, finally. Good. So, we will give you a leader, Mr. Isaki. And then... So if you click between these, does it filter? I mean, this is just one ship? Control groups can be set by selecting a target, holding control and pressing the relevant number key. Aha! Click to select, double click to go to, right click to clear hotkey. Oh, that's very useful actually. So if I double click, we go to them. So that means that actually I can set you as, I guess my space station is 2, my fleet is 3, construction is 4, you can be 6, and second science ship here, you can be 5. How very convenient. Okay, can we reach this planet? Yes, we can. Good. And number 6, you're going to go in the other direction. Now we move outside our sphere of influence, maybe we'll manage to find some aliens. And I hope they're friendly. I really hope they're friendly. Okay, there's an election underway. The campaign to elect new president is underway. The result will be announced in 3 months. So, elections in my empire will happen every 5 years. And the way this works is that there are several candidates, including our present president or not. No, I think your initial president always retires. President Rebic. Oh no, he is in the running, isn't he? Yes, he is in the running, but apparently he's not very well liked, possibly because he's a slaver. And aren't my people really, really strongly against slavery? If I remember correctly. Yes, my people absolutely hate slavery. You're the worst leader ever. What the? Champion of the people? You're horrible. Okay, so instead we're going to have one of our other guys take up the possible presidency. I'm not going to be very happy, actually, if it's one of the scientists, but I think it's going to have to be. So we've got Creel, who is charismatic and enjoys exploring. That could be useful. Spaceport building and exploring. Spaceport building we're a bit far away from. We need to colonize before that happens. Influence, very nice. And building costs. So actually I really like Isaki as a potential president. And he is also... So each president comes with an agenda. And if you complete the agenda, then I think it makes them more likely to get re-elected, but it also gives you a ton of influence points. So these guys want to build 4 new orbital mining stations, both of them. This guy wants to build 4 new orbital research stations. That's a lot harder. You need to actually have something to research, so that's a bit rarer. So yeah, my favourite would be Isaki. And the way this works is you can see that currently the vote share is kind of even between the 3 of them, and I could just leave it to chance. If I want to, I can select one and spend 50 influence to support. Now, given that we're going to get 1 monthly influence from this guy for 5 years, that's going to be worth 60, so I could guarantee it and basically gain influence in the long run. And I think in this case I will do. I'd really like Isaki to become president. It means I lose him on the science ship, so I'll have to recruit another scientist, but one of them's going to do that anyway, whatever I do. I certainly don't want the slaver, that's just terrible. I'll lose my 10% in minerals bonus from my current president, that's a shame. He's really useful. Oh well. So, yes, let's spend a little bit of influence to support Isaki into hopefully becoming president. I've only supported him once. You can spend more if you want to guarantee that he definitely becomes president, but I think that'll do. We've got a little bit of help and he should hopefully become president. Excellent, and as planned, Isaki has been made president. Very good. Unfortunately, that means we now need to put someone else on the science ship. Ket, consult the situation log for details on their mandate. So their mandate was a very straightforward one. It was to build 4 mineral stations, and it just so happens we have a construction ship in orbit of a planet which could really do with a mining station. So there's number 1. Additionally, let's go check out our science ship. They are no longer doing any science because they need a leader. So we will have to hire one. Who do we have? We have the cheap one, which is tempting having spent a lot of money on the previous guy. We also have a guy who lives for a very long time. No, I think the cheap one is the best solution. Although he will live a very long time given how young he is. Wow. Well, he doesn't come with any particular powers. But he will become very, very experienced, so sure, let's use him. And let's put him on this ship here. Great. So now the ship should be able to continue its survey. Did it finish? No, I think it lost its orders because it was leaderless. So I need to find a planet. You know, it would be a lot easier if... Oh, in fact, there is a way of telling whether it's been surveyed or not. If it doesn't have a name, it's been surveyed. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this inhospitable rock. Go to. A pretty low failure risk, so yeah, get researching. The signs of Ute activity in the vicinity of Debux 2 turned out to be false leads. Science Officer Creemac has asked to continue the research with the BSF Vehement Hatchling elsewhere. So I guess the Ute are what we're calling the precursor civ we think we may have found. That's a shame, but you'll continue with your survey, hopefully. Good, you finished your mining station. We really need more colonies at this point. Yes, that's all the mining stations I can build right now, which is a real shame. There's a bit of research available, but that's on the planet I want to colonize. And that's on a planet I want to colonize, so that's unfortunate. Are they both worth colonizing? I think they're both quite large, aren't they? A 15 and a 16 if I remember. So yeah, we're pretty much saving those for colonization. We finished discovering physics labs, and next up, well, fusion reactor, useful. Deflectors, very useful. Power hub, that just creates more energy on the planet. Yeah, I think we're going to go for some deflectors, see if we can get our ships looking a bit tougher. And I've actually realised what might be a good idea is to build a frontier outpost over here. This system
Construction complete.
cannot be colonised, there's nothing to colonise there. And it will encompass several of these other systems when we expand our borders. Frontier outposts expand your borders. So it's going to cost quite a lot of influence, and it's actually going to cost us influence every turn, but maybe actually it would be better over here. The trouble is these systems don't have as many interesting resources, and I'd really like to get building those mineral stations. Maybe it's better to build it in Isom because it's further. This is the slight problem at the moment. I believe people have already asked for a feature that tells you where the borders will expand to, but I think it's probably going to be the same for Frontier Outpost as a planet. So maybe Isom would be a better choice. Can we go and build a Frontier Outpost? Well, we should check to see if it has any planets. No planets to colonize, so maybe that's the thing to do then. Let's go and claim some territory. It's going to cost us quite a lot of influence, and it will mean we have to spend one a turn keeping the Frontier Outpost up and running, but we need to expand in some direction, so let's try this way. I have a feeling that until we actually get the option to build colony ships, this is going to be how we're going to expand our territory. Alien proto-civilization encountered. The survey of Tau Ceti 4 has revealed that certain regions of the planet are home to a primitive alien proto-civilization. Our probes show that their Neolithic culture has mastered fire and developed a rudimentary spoken language, but we have yet to see any evidence of metallurgy or written communication. That is interesting. Does this mean that we can, in theory... Oh, there's something else happening. Amazingly, while conducting their survey of X128111, which is an anomaly I found, the crew of the BSF Unstable Hatchling picked up several life signs coming from within the asteroid. There appears to be a colony of large burrowing worm-like lithivores within the rock, how very Star Wars, which has been riddled with tunnels. These unique life forms have somehow adapted to a life in the coldness of space. That's really nice. That's an amazing little planet there with lots of society research. Yes, study them. Now, back to my original question. If I take my construction ship, could I in theory build a research station? If it was within my borders, yes. Can I build an observation post, or are they too primitive? It was this planet, wasn't it? Or was it this planet? I'm now lost. Which planet was it? Oh, they have to be post-Neolithic. Ah, they're too primitive. We may have to wait. Good. We've been surveying habitable worlds like crazy. And this asteroid, we really want it within our borders.
Research complete.
Well, the Frontier Outpost did not expand our borders as much as I would have liked, but it's now complete, and so we can actually do stuff on at least these two systems, so that's something. So, in fact, immediately get to completing our leader's mandate, please, which is to build more mining stations. Aha! That science officer, or one of the science officers, has leveled up and gained an expertise in particles. Good, good. I'm a bit lost now. How many things have happened? We finished the frontier outpost. We finished research. Excellent. And our scientist, what does particles do? He's now better at researching particles. He may actually be a good, if we ever need another see a good science leader for researching anomalies. In fact, I might have to take a look at that right now. No, not really. Then he'd be a good physics researcher back at home as well.
Anomaly found.
Oh, another anomaly. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this asteroid. Ah, this could be the Yart. The Ute. Research. We must find out about these people. Okay, anyway, we need to research something new. Finally, we can do New Worlds Protocol, thank God. That's really nice as well, but we have to get those colony ships underway. We need colonies, we need to expand our borders. I mean, this frontier outpost I think was a good choice in the end, because there's nothing really habitable within this region. And it is costing us 1 influence a month, but I think it's worth it. We'll be able to complete our leader mandate, which will easily give us back the influence we spent on doing this. Possibly when we inhabit this world, we'll find that borders expand to incorporate both of those two, in which case I can decommission the frontier outpost and push it out further. We have recovered artifacts from an ancient civilization on THX-845, owned by George Lucas. Our scientists think that they inhabit this region of stars roughly 6 million years ago based on the age of the artifacts. The aliens called themselves the Ute, and appear to have been very large and flat arthropod analogues. Interesting. It's like sort of giant wood lice. It seems a single individual could reach the length of nearly 100 meters as an adult, okay, bigger than a woodlouse, and it was apparently exceedingly rare for more than 2 or 3 Utes to travel aboard the same starship. Oh, okay, we are now working on the precursors project. There are 6 artifacts to find. How interesting.
System survey complete.
Good. I have to say, we've now surveyed, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've surveyed 7 systems, and, well, there's an 8th one we can see there, and a 9th there. So 9 systems surrounding our starting point, and we have yet to find another intelligent species. It's getting very lonely. I'm paranoid, nonetheless. I don't know whether it's good to be on your own or not in this game. Because if you think of a sort of other 4X games...
Construction complete.
Some of them...
System survey complete.
It can be advantageous to be on your own and to have a lot of space to yourself. Some of them, if you end up on your own, it's actually kind of bad for you. For instance, in...
Situation log updated.
Oh, we'll get back to my thoughts
Evading hostile fleet.
there in a second. Oh god, what's happening? Science ship has encountered hostile alien vessels. What kind? Oh my god, it's a giant energy being. Goddamn energy beings. That's not cool. Energy beings always cause trouble. I've watched enough Star Trek. So, okay. They're going to run away. I don't know where they run to, but they're going to run away. We should probably find out about them. Get researching that. This delays my colonising for a while, but still. I feel if they're hostile, we really need to get on with that. It doesn't look like we're in trouble. It looks like we saw them hostile in the system, and we're just running away. How powerful is our little military fleet? They'd have a bit of a tough time, actually. Although they do outnumber them. And my corvettes have a pretty good evasion skill, thanks to the flagellating modifier. Okay, well we're going to have to give you another order then, so I guess what I'd like you to do... I don't really want to survey in this direction, I want to survey down in this direction, so... Can you reach... Oh, you can apparently directly reach that system. So, in fact, go there. I want to start survey round in the circle, I want to send this guy around in this way. And, well actually he's now at the edge of the galaxy, so we're not in such a big deal. We can guarantee that there's no more races competing for space in this direction. They could be above or below us though. Okay, the energy beings. An investigation into a peculiar cluster of debris and space dust has yielded surprising results. It is a particulate cloud, bristling with powerful charge of unknown origin that has no business exhibiting simple reflexive actions, let alone movements with purpose. And yet it does. There is something undeniably ominous about the hazy subject of the relayed video feeds. Perhaps there are things in the universe we should not tangle with. Yes, steer clear of energy beings. They're dangerous. Oh, but apparently I'm allowed to observe it. Well, I think that would be fun. We're birds, we like looking at things. It's fun. We're far too curious for our own good. We also finished deflectors. Good. What options does that give us? Lasers, sensors, or fortifications? I think some sensors would be useful at this point. We may then install some on our survey ships and have them upgraded. At this point it might be worth quickly visiting our spaceship designer, because we can now introduce new modules. Deflectors. How much power do deflectors take up? Quite a bit. We would need to build something like this to have enough power. So it's probably not worth upgrading the ships now until we actually have a better power plant. So we'll just leave that for now. Don't think that did anything? No, that's fine. But at some point it would be good to upgrade those designs. The void clouds are, as far as burb researchers can tell, among the oldest entities in the universe. They seem to have originated just a scant few billion years after matter as we know it first appeared, the tremendous forces of the young cosmos making something out of nothing. They would have been stars once, but were not. Explaining their apparent animal intelligence is more difficult, but the answer might lie in the abnormally strong electromagnetic fields that keep them together, another product of their primordial beginnings. It is not inconceivable that, given enough time, the circulation of its strange stardust and gravitic fields aligned in a flexible approximation of neural pathways. Well, that's a bit unusual, but okay, let's go with it. Moreover, the clouds seem to be receiving impulses from one another, if not outright communicating, light years apart. That's cool. Quantum entanglement is expected to play a role in this phenomenon. So these guys, have quantum telepathy. Very nice. Well, we can either have the benefit of damage to void clouds, could be useful if they're going to be problematic, or we could be able to trace them. I think we're not peacefuls per se, but I don't think it is tempting for the research, but do birds not like shiny clouds? I think they want to know where the shiny clouds are. So I think we're going to try and research where they come from. Okay, so we have to basically go and research specific systems. And just in time for that, we have managed to complete the President's mandate. We have built enough additional mining stations to get 144 influence. Goodness me, that's a lot. Wow. Very good. So, let's track those on the map. Okay, they are miles and miles and miles away. In fact, one of them is
System survey
in
complete.
someone else's space by the looks of things. And so is that one. I mean, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just background colour. This particular piece of music sounds very similar to tubular bells. Among the asteroids surrounding VIR-140, we have discovered an alien ship adrift. It is not responding to our attempts to hail them. If this is due to being unable to interpret our signal or some other reason, we do not know. Science Officer Perdikna recommends we get a construction ship to tow it out of the debris field. If left untouched, it risks being crushed by the asteroids. Okay. Well, that's quite a lot of minerals, but we're doing pretty well for minerals, so we will leave it as a special project.
Updated.
And it's that time again, it's time for an election. Apparently Isaki would like to continue off-world mining, which I would not object to. I've got a couple of mining stations available still. He's interested in research. He's interested in research. Well, I could support Isaki again. I don't think that anyone else has particularly interesting traits. He did his job. I'm surprised he doesn't have a better election chance. Since I have so much influence and I'll only gain more from it, then yes, I'm going to spend at least one support on Isaki. And hopefully he gets elected. I'm not sure why it says support 2 times, because this election I've only supported him once, but never mind. Maybe that's a bug. Now we've nearly got our construction ship to the orbit we need. We've spent about 40% of the time just getting there, so hopefully the research part doesn't take too long. I've kept the research ship there because I don't know if it's required or not. Maybe it's one of these artifacts we're looking for. That would be cool. Okay, we have a ship in orbit. We can now research. Finished in 40 days. Ah, the time was only to get there. Oh, this is cool. Look at our little guys.
Situation log updated.
Isaki has been re-elected president. Excellent. Good, good. So that means that we have a mandate for mining once again, which we'll be able to complete no problem. Although we actually need more energy right now. But I really, really like the way these little ships are like doing their little construction thing around the asteroid. I don't know if the science ship is needed, but I'm not moving it away right now. Actually, I can probably check. Science ship number 6, are you actually doing anything right now? No, you are technically idle, which means that I can send you off to do something else. Can you reach? Sure, keep surveying the edge of the galaxy.
Special project complete.
And we've rescued the ship. Once the ship drifting by VIR-140 had been towed out of the debris, we could send in an away team to investigate. It is a murder scene. Oh dear. Only one crew member has been found, a long-eared amphibian biped who appears to have been stabbed repeatedly. The ship is, by the death of its crew, up for grabs. It is fitted with very efficient thrusters, the structure and design of which are beyond us at present. The vessel is not armed, seemingly having used it as transport for important personnel. Repurposing it into an exploration vessel would be a minor undertaking. However, if we instead deconstruct it and study the engines in greater detail, we could maybe capture some of its genius and translate it into practical improvements for our fleets. So we can basically have the choice here of getting another science vessel, which gives us 3 science vessels. Is that too many? I don't know. That's tempting. Or we can have enhanced ship speed by studying the engines. I think given how cheap science vessels are to construct, I'm probably going to go for the engines, because that sounds like something that will last the whole game. Nice long-term modifier. So yes, study the engines. They're unique, they're interesting, and now if we check our empire, somewhere, government. Excellent, all our ships have improved evasion and sublight speed. Hey, that's really nice. Cool. We have really birdie ships, actually. We have encountered some vessels in the Isle system. Oh, okay. There's some sort of... Oh no, we have got some actual aliens. Oh, that looks like a real alien race. Interesting. That must be their science ship. Are they getting out of there? They appear to be moving to another system. I don't really want to delay our colony research, so frankly, it's going to have to wait. Alien mural. While conducting surface scans of Bolthar II, Science Officer Cremak and the crew of the BSF Vehement Hatchling discovered what appears to be an artificially carved slab of rock covered in alien writing. They have not detected any other signs of alien activity on the planet, and exactly how this mural came to be here is a mystery. We have prepared a special project to translate the text. Very good.
Situation log updated.
Let's have a look at that. We need a scientist in orbit. Let's send him back to do the project then. And then you can research the system afterwards. Oh my god, we have first contact. We have detected the We have detected the presence of a pre-space alien civilization on Verlgax. Verlgax. Where is this? In the Regulus system. Atmospheric contaminants and light pollution visible from orbit are consistent with a densely populated machine-age society. They appear to have mastered air travel, and their factories are mass-producing goods in their cities. We should consider building an observation post above their world to study them more closely. Okay, that is interesting. It's a huge planet, and they're in the machine age. I don't know all the ages, but that's very impressive. But they're not a space world yet, so it could well be worth us trying to exploit this. Oh, look at them.
System survey complete.
And in fact, I'm wrong. You can see their effects. Even though they're not spacefaring yet, we can see that they are xenophiles. That's good. They'll like us. And materialist, which we are as well. So we could actually end up being very good allies in the long run. Cool. Weird little fungus things. And we've also finished gravitic sensors, which is good. Ooh, we've got a rare technology, so if it's something as purple on top, then it is rare. It would allow us to build an observatory, which is very nice, especially on our home planet. Although that is his specialist tech, but I think this is too nice to bypass, so it's going to take some time, but we definitely want to get some orbital sensor arrays up and running. And now, more importantly, what I'm interested in is if we go to our science ships, can we give them improved sensors? We can. Okay, there's lots of stuff going on. We'll get to you, space pirates. So we can now give them space ship-mounted gravitic sensors. We can give them improved thrusters, so they're faster. Can't do anything with the science lab. We can't do anything with the warp drive, and they do need more power. Gosh, okay. You're going to need another reactor, apparently. That's a bit annoying. Alright, so that will be our improved science ship, which we'll save. Yes, overwrite it. It's our default science ship. And then I think next time our science ships are in the right system... No, I didn't mean to do that. No, carry on doing whatever you were doing. Surveying. We can tell them to go to a spaceport to upgrade, and then their sensors will be improved. But I'll do that after we've finished this system. Right, meanwhile we have two major events to deal with. Science Officer Creamac has managed to partially translate the alien mural discovered on Bolthar 2. The text contains a staggering amount of data, and the mural evidently serves as some sort of low-tech library. It describes, in broad terms, the collected technological knowledge of an alien civilization that dominated this region of the galaxy some 80 million years ago. A lot of it is already known to us, but the data does contain several promising leads for technologies we have yet to consider. There is enough data here to keep our scientists busy for decades, but we will need an orbital research facility to continue the translation efforts. So, Bolthar 2 just became the ultimate science place. Wow. Okay. We may want to expand in this direction, because that system is full of science and has a terrible planet that we can barely live on, but it's full of science. Meanwhile, unfortunately, as civilian travel in space becomes more commonplace, several powerful criminal organizations en route have sensed an opportunity to expand their operations. Well, I don't think it's that common. We haven't got any colonies yet. They have converted a number of civilian freighters into improvised warships, which they raid civilian shipping lanes for booty. We know they call themselves the Dread Fiends, and they must operate for some sort of hidden space facility. Right, where are these Dread Fiends? Because we have a fleet ready to go. I think it's probably a good idea for us to quickly just work outwards and try to find out where they are. Do they exist in this list? No. No, they don't. Okay. But we certainly need to check these systems, so we'll send our actual war fleet off to see what it can find. Oh, we should possibly recruit an admiral if we're going to get into a fight. I didn't consider that. Well, we can afford it, so let's have a look at what admirals are available. Okay, so we have plus 15% evasion, very useful. Plus 20% fire rate, that could be pretty good for doing damage. Or ship hull points plus 20, but you can't use emergency FTL. There's no disadvantage to that one, there's no disadvantage to that one. Well, what sort of evasion do our ships have right now? Is there a way to look at their stats? Create new fleet, split fleet. And we can look at one ship. We currently have 12% evasion. Thrusters plus 10, evasion plus 20%. So if we were to then recruit that admiral, he gives another 15%, which isn't that much actually, given the low starting value of 12. So actually, let's take an aggressive guy. We're going to recruit Admiral Yidik. Excellent. And wherever the fleet is, we're actually going to assign him. Thankfully, I think he just needs to be in friendly space. Oh, there they are. There's the base pirates. And you just need to be in friendly space to actually reassign guys. So my fleet should arrive here any second, and then we can have them engage. Lock on. They're just dealing with the warp drive, and now they're on their way. And our ships are pretty fast thanks to that special engine technology. I hope we catch them before they leave. Oh, it looks like they're heading this way. Okay, that's the weirdest event title I've ever seen. Abandoned Amusement Park. The structures on Bolthar 7 are not as old as we first believed. It seemed to be a playground or amusement park of some sort. Oh my god, it's Rollercoaster Tycoon gone mad. Science Officer Cremak notes that many of the contraptions are highly complex creations that we can learn much from, and that, to the builder's eyes, this might have been a cutting-edge sensor array, or even a gigantic art installation. Regardless, to us burbs, it looks mostly like a place where you would take your young and let them amuse themselves. I love the idea of taking your little burbs along and just going, oh, look at the shiny things. What does that give us? Oh, quite a lot of research, actually. That's really nice. Thank you, alien weird amusement park. Fortunately, it wasn't inhabited by like a Scooby-Doo style enemy. Now, our ship is closing slowly on this ship. I think inefficiently, because it doesn't predict where they're going to be.
Anomaly found.
Another anomaly. God, they're everywhere at the moment. By chance, we've stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of the moon. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? You should find out, my friend. And then we can see that our fleet
Hostile fleet engaged.
has engaged. Gosh, I hope we've got a good chance. There's 4 of them. We have more military power. But I'm still kind of worried this is going to be too much for us. No, according to the battle, we're winning. Our corvettes are taking middling damage. This guy's taking quite a bit of damage. Yeah, we've taken quite a lot of hull damage. We probably should upgrade our fleet now we've got better thrusters. We've destroyed one of them, we've destroyed 2 of them with no losses so far, and if this keeps up, we should be able to finish them off.
Situation log
Excellent.
updated.
We won the battle. We have a timed project. Debris. Ah, yes. So there's some debris here. Every time you have a space battle, it will leave some debris which you can research. Now, our fleet is damaged. Yes, they are damaged. So I'm going to send them back to... I'm just going to send them back to repairs, and I think this is a good opportunity also to refit them. So if we look at our corvette layout, we want to improve their thrusters. I don't think we care about their sensors so much. I mean, it's a very small difference, to be honest. We have no better weapons, but we do have some deflectors, so... Can we put some deflectors on our ships and still power them? No, we can't. So, can we put on... No, we're going to need a lot of power. That's certainly expensive. It's the thrusters. They take up a lot of power usage compared to the old ones, but they're very good, so I think they're definitely worth it. Well, I guess we can only afford one deflector shield, but we will save, and then when they're done with repairing, we'll tell them to upgrade as well. This has a habitable planet. What kind? Oh, a continental world. Okay, change of plans. Change of plans. This planet is going to be possibly our first colony because it's close to all of these nice systems, and it will certainly, if these guys become spacefaring, block them out. Frankly, I'd much rather observe them, so... Our ship fleet has been repaired. That means they should now be upgrading. Yes?
Research complete.
Oh, finally. We've done it. We've researched how to colonize planets. We can build arc ships. And capacity overload. Oh, that just gives you more money. Interesting. So, brilliant. First thing you're going to do, well, border range would be useful. In fact, yes, you're going to start working on that, but now you've finished, I can put you on the Investigate Delta Elnulans project, and hopefully we can get first contact. And also, in our home system, that's the terminal. In our home system, we can build, finally, a colony ship. A colony ship at last. How is the planet doing, anyway? Not too bad. And in fact, we've managed to now survey enough habitable worlds. And our biologists have collected a vast amount of data on alien life forms. Many of our old theories in the development of life have been disproved, and our scientific community has had to build new models from scratch. Scientists love that kind of thing, they're not going to be bothered at all. And we now have a museum of exobiology. That's really cool. And we get loads of research for it. Lovely. Oh, okay, no, we've just found loads and loads of inhabited things. Yes, we've definitely found another player. An AI player. And he has a lot of ships. So, we are going to be very polite and get out of here. And we're also going to queue up some more ships, because oh my god, that guy had a lot. Meanwhile, I was planning to clear this and I got interrupted.
Special project complete.
Okay, finally, we have first contact. After successfully translating their language, we have established communications with the Norilga United Territories. From their name, can't really tell what sort of civ they might be. Diplomatic channels are now open and all hostilities have been terminated. Excellent. They look kind of strange, but hey. Greetings, I speak for the executive Fern Uni and the wealthy elite of the Norilga United Territories. They are looking for trading partners. Interesting. What the hell? Who is Isaki? This is Isaki speaking. What the hell? That's a little bit stupid even for our bird friends. What? Why would you say that? I think we should probably say we have much to gain from this encounter. They're materialists by the sound of it, so I think they'll appreciate that. And the news that we think has intelligent alien life has been received with mixed feelings by our populace, because we're not xenophobic or xenophilic. This changes everything. Okay, let's have a look at them. They are a plutocratic oligarchy. They're oh, thank God, they're fanatically xenophile. That's wonderful. And they're individualists. So we overlap slightly, and they love aliens. This is really good. So in fact, oh, see, he's already friendly. He'd love to visit Roost someday. That's adorable. So I would like to, if possible, establish an embassy. I think it's totally worth it. I think we should be good friends. This whole area to the north looks to be their territory, but I wasn't very interested in the first place, so that's great. It does give me a little bit more incentive to push out this way. So a second frontier outpost might be worth considering. And it does also mean that I have to build my fleet to them, because I'm slightly worried they might turn hostile. But it's certainly not worth rivaling them when they have similar traits to us and they're Federation builders. That sort of personality means that they're basically...
Construction complete.
They like being friends with people, so... Oh my god, we have a colony ship. The Lucky Hatchling. Excellent. And you, wonderful, wonderful ship. You are going to go and colonize this planet here. And we're going to have to pick a good location for it. So if I remember rightly, the colonial center adds 1 resource to surrounding tiles. This planet is very nice. So you want it in a place with 4 surrounding. We can't place it on a tile blocker. If we went with here, we'd have a lot of rapid growth. I don't know whether it would get rid of that 1 energy or not, to be honest. If we can get it next to this one, we'd have the bonus of applied to both of these resources, but I don't think it had science. Actually, you know what? Can we just cancel that temporarily? I want to quickly check. Does our home colony does it add to everything? Adjacency effect. Mineral, food, and energy. Okay, so it only does the base resources, not science. That's important. I'll also actually just check Dathana, because... No, Dathana's not worth building on, to be honest. Not immediately. And Isle... Isle does have quite a few resources, actually. Like, building there would be pretty reasonable. But I think it's important to expand our territory. So... Lucky Hatchling. You are definitely going to land on this planet. I'm going to order you to colonize it. And the best spot is one with as many basic resources either side. So, yeah, places I can't go, basically. Down here would be lovely. Lots of energy, lots of food. And the blockers are going to be blocking for quite a long time, so... I think... Food and minerals... No, I want energy, so I am going to start with down here. Even though we're only surrounding... there are only 3 productive tiles surrounding it, I think it's the best one to go for. And this is the largest planet you can get. Size 25, blimey. So that's where you're heading. To colonize Ma Adetta. I can't wait. Oh my god, comet sighted! It's the worst paradox event, depending on what game you're playing. A lone, proud comet soars through the shiny orb system, clearly visible from Roost. It forges its own path through the cosmos, vibrant and ever undeterred. This is the ideal for which all birbs strive for. Yes, they all want to just be flying through space, shiny. It is a good omen. Oh, nice. Makes everyone happy. Hooray! We've built a colony! Our colony ship has gently touched down at the mouth of a large river delta on one of several continents that can be found on Devradir. This temperate forest region will serve as an ideal first landing site. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and its reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first burb city on an alien world. This is a great day for the Great Burb Commonwealth. Amazing. Look at it. Look at it grow. Colonizing the planet for tons and tons of money that we can't afford right now. Amazing. There they are. And I think we need to give this planet a better name, because Devradir just isn't right. We need to call it something nice and homely, something that birbs will enjoy. We're going to call it Nestus. I know it's kind of vaguely Latin, but hey, whatever. I like it. Nestus. We have the planet Nestus. We could rename the system as well. What kind of sun do we have? A Class G star. Yes, I think we'll rename that as well. Yellow orb. I think it's important to rename all our core systems so we know what they are. At this point, I think we can say things are going pretty well for the Birbs. We've colonized our first planet. We'll push out another colony ship soon and head towards perhaps colonizing the planets close to us, Dathana and Iol. I think we also, depending on how big our borders get precisely here, may want to consider producing another frontier outpost, or at least moving this frontier outpost, because Dathana will certainly expand the area that the borders cover when it has a colony. And we've met some friends as well, who are indeed friendly, not to mention a primitive civilization in the industrial era down here in Regulus, who will also look to be our friends should they ever reach space. So we're going to call it a part right here. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. So long for now, and goodbye.